I think this is the third time I've recorded this video. In the sense that I recorded it when I had the book and I just finished reading the book, and then I recorded it and then I wasn't happy with how I spoke about the book. And then I did more research and I watched other people, and then I recorded another video with other viewpoints, and I realized I messed it up really badly because I wasn't showing the book and I had more to say and I had to rush it because I had to leave, so it was a rushed video and I don't want that. The book I'm talking about is Yellowface by R.F. Kuang. I bought that. I bought Yellowface when I went to England this year, 2025, in May. And I bought it in Waterstones, and it was like... And I brought it back to Korea with me the first time because I was reading it, and I was like, I want to read it because it's really hyped, and everyone on TikTok says it's really good, and it's really hyped up, and, you know, I want to be on that trend, and... Stupid. And I think that's part of the book. So I want to do it, like, calm and slowly so that I don't mess up this amazing book. Because when I read it, I was like, eh. It's eh. But it's not. This is the thing. It's a think about it book. Think as you're reading book. And I've almost forgotten, like, how to read them in a way. Like, tangent, but like when I was at school, like one of the big parts of English literature curriculum is learning how to critically think while reading a book. Like you read Inspector Calls and you learn to read between the lines, and you read like Of Mice and Men. I didn't read that one. I read Animal Farm instead, and like, you read between the lines of Animal Farm, and so I think it's different. And nowadays I just read, you know, fantasy books, and you don't do much reading between the lines because everything is just there for you. Whereas, like, there's so many deep themes in R.F. Kuang's books. I need to read her other ones, Babel and the one with the long name that no one pronounces the same. But yeah, that one. I do want to read them because I think she's an incredible author and I think she's very clever. So I have a lot to say about Yellowface. I'm using the Google Books picture. I don't have Yellowface anymore. Someone's borrowing it, but I wanted to talk about it. So let me do it slowly and calmly, because if I rush, I'm gonna miss something and then be really annoyed at myself when I'm editing. So I want to do it slowly and calmly. The first thing is obviously it's about race. Yellowface being a nod to Asian being called yellow, which is wrong and racist, I'm pretty sure. Please correct me if I'm wrong about anything, but hinting towards that. And the book is spoilers. The book is about Juniper Hayward, who has a friend Athena who is of Asian descent, and she is like this amazing author that gets all these books with awards. She writes all these awarded books. And Juniper, a white woman, struggles in the industry, and she's written books, and she's a little bit quite jealous of Athena. And one day Athena dies because of matcha pancake mix, something along those lines. And Juniper steals one of Athena's manuscript for her new book that she hasn't shown anyone, or so is said. And she publishes it as her own, or she goes to a publisher about it as her own work. And they're like, yeah, we'll take it on. But because Athena is gone, and Athena was of Chinese origin, she was Asian, she was a placeholder for the Asian of the publishing industry, like the Asian of the authors. So what the publishing house tend to do, or what this publishing house was doing, was turning Juniper to be more ethnically ambiguous and racially ambiguous by making her use her other surname of Song, and instead of calling her June, which is what her other her nickname was that she goes by, it was Juniper. So Juniper Song, not June Hayward. So, and then taking these racially ambiguous photos in the lighting so that people couldn't really tell that she was white and not Asian. So I think that's it's to the industry itself. And so June becomes the next hit author, but then all these controversies come up because people realise that, oh, she's stolen the last front. And it was about the Chinese Labour Corps in World War One. And June basically steals it, and then it gets found out that, like, oh, she pretty much took it. But, like, people don't, like, say it, but they kind of guess. And then there's all these rumours, and June releases another book, short story book, and again, it's taken from, like, a short sentence in Athena's diaries, and again, she gets exposed for it, so she has all these controversies, and eventually, Juniper and Adele, they confront, and Adele gets her to admit that she stole the books and everything, and that she was jealous. And so that's the end of Juniper. But then Juniper's like, I will come back. I will come back to writing. I think when I first read it, I don't think I thought about the book much. I think I just read it to read it, and I read it quickly, and I read it to be like, I read Yellowface. Stupid. Because it's a book that needs thinking. It's a book that requires critical thinking. So I should have taken more time on it. But now, like, I've done research, and I've watched people talk about it, and I've done more research into it. So I'm like, okay, if I read it for the first time again, I would take more time on it. I don't think I would read it again, though. So when I first read it, I won't say I loved it, but I don't say I hated it. It was a middle ground. I thought it was interesting, and I thought it was a very interesting look into tokenism in industries. Tokenism being that there should be the token of that race in the, like, industry. So, like, in a movie, there should be one white character, one Caucasian character, one black or African descendant character, one, Asian character. And not because they are good at acting or bad at acting, not because they are relevant, but because diversity. But it's not good diversity, it is, like, just the industry meeting a standard so that people are happy, but it's a negative thing because it can be negative towards the people that are affected. I studied it in my bachelor's degree back in university, and, like, looking at tokenism in, like, different industries, and you have to have the token, and it's like there's references to it, like you have to have the token funny guy, the token gay guy, the token lesbian, the token and it's just to be like, oh, we have it. There's this. It's the industry, like, not caring but caring, not caring for the right reasons, caring that they just don't get a hate mob. And I think it's really interesting that it was highlighted in the publishing industry. Like, there had to be the token Asian author. And so when Athena dies, Juniper becomes the token Asian author. And then after that, Adele, I think, she starts speaking out, and, like, the publishing house kind of, like, stops working with June and, like, focuses more on Adele. And it's this endless cycle, and the thing is, like, okay, it's good to call this out, but who in the end should be called out? Because let's just say you call out only the author. Yes, the author may change or the author may disappear, but what about the publishers? They're the ones working towards this, I guess. So it's like this endless loop of the publishing industry continuing to do well, no matter which Asian, no matter which Caucasian, no matter which person is there, they just have that token placeholder to attract everyone. And, like, I also think it's, like, this consumerism aspect that you buy something because this specific author wrote it, or this kind of author wrote it. I mean, even with the whole Yellowface itself, it became so big on TikTok, and everyone was buying it. I don't know, maybe it was just me. But people were buying it and reading it and then being like, yeah, I read it. And it's like, there was more to it than that. But it's this consumerism that you buy it because everyone's buying it as well. I think maybe that wasn't really hinted in Yellowface, but I think the effect of it was that everyone bought it because people on TikTok were saying it was good. And it's the same kind of thing. Like, I've read books not because they're of interest to me, but because TikTok said, like, TikTok was like, oh, this book. There are books I will not read because of, like, the authors or what they have inside, like, or what the books have in them. But I think I've read books because of TikTok. And sometimes that's a good thing, you know. I read R.F. Kuang's books because of TikTok. I read The Poppy War because of TikTok. I read Yellowface because of TikTok. I've put stuff on my to be read list. My TBR has a million miles long of TBRs because to be read books because TikTok. And then at the same time, I think because I was like, oh, it's on TikTok, I'm like, I need to read it quickly. No. I want to do a video about this kind of thing, like how different it is reading now as an adult and reading like now as a teenager, and I think there's a couple of reasons for that. So I want to do a video about that soon. But yeah, let me know what you thought of Yellowface, because I think it's a very interesting story. And I think it's like this whole jealousy of another author when like maybe their popularity was manufactured or maybe it's genuine, like you don't know, but you're jealous over that. So I think there's so much to unpack about Yellowface. So let me know what you thought while you were reading it, and please correct me if I've overstepped on anything. And yeah, let me know what you're reading at the moment. Give me recommendations, maybe more stuff like Yellowface, or if you've read R.F. Kuang's other books, like, what do you think? I read The Poppy War. I want to read the other two. We'll see. So yeah, I hope you enjoy reading, and I'll talk to you soon.